What I often hear from people that want to start a business, do YouTube, or simply want to work for themselves is, I just don't know what to do or where to start. No idea, no niche, no plan, just this feeling of being completely stuck while it seems like everyone else has already figured out their thing. And here's what happens if you think like that. You wait for that perfect idea to hit you, that moment of clarity where everything just clicks and you suddenly know exactly what your business should be. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and you're still waiting. But let's be honest, this perfect idea likely doesn't come by itself. Instead, you should simply take action, because here's what actually happens when you stop waiting and start taking action with anything that could somehow move you forward. You don't get that big idea right away. Instead, you get small but great opportunities you likely never thought about before. And if you keep taking action, if you keep moving, those opportunities start to add up and eventually lead to something big. For me, after about 10 years of constantly taking action and therefore getting lots of opportunities I could never even dream of, everything I had done suddenly connected into something much bigger recently, an actual business idea, something I never could have planned or expected after all those little steps along the way. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how that happened. But to get there, we need to start all the way back with paintball. So paintball, yeah, I was obsessed with it for years, but here's what made it interesting. While everyone else was chilling between games, drinking beer, hanging out, I usually stayed on the field. I just kept practicing, doing drills over and over and over. I wasn't talented, I didn't even have some natural gift, I just did more reps than most people. And you know what happened? Pretty quickly I got into some of the top paintball teams in Germany. Eventually I even competed in the Paintball World Cup in Asia for the German national team. Now at the time I didn't think of it as some big life lesson, I was just having fun and I was quite ambitious, but this was the first time I learned something that would show up again 10 years later. When you take more action than everyone else, opportunities appear even when you don't expect them. And speaking of taking action, I also started a paintball blog and YouTube channel in Germany just for fun, but also to see what happens. But to do that, I had to figure out WordPress, basic web design, content creation, video editing, etc. And at the time, these felt like random skills, just stuff I needed for this little hobby project. But this one decision, starting that blog, ended up shaping my entire career. I just didn't know it yet. So now I had WordPress and web design skills, but I was still working in a factory as a carpenter, and my paintball YouTube channel and another online project made some money, but not enough for a living. I wanted to travel though, I wanted more freedom and leave my job, so I saved some money, left my job and signed up at Upwork to start freelancing as a web designer. And here's what most people do. They send proposals until their free connects run out and don't get responses and think this doesn't work, Upwork is oversaturated or something like that. So they give up, they conclude the platform is the problem. But I looked at it differently. I bought more connects and sent out 20 proposals every day. In the first month, I spent 500 euros on connects while living off savings, but I secured projects worth 4,500 euro and landed a long-term client that gave me stability for that entire year. And suddenly I had the freedom to travel full-time. So the platform works fine. Most people just stop way too early. Remember, it's all about the reps. Now that I was free to travel, I started making travel videos. I had editing experience from the paintball channel and skate videos as a teenager and a big passion for it. And once I made a video about backpacking through Thailand, which didn't get many views, so I reached out to several tour companies asking if they would share it. And instead of just sharing it, one directly asked me if I want to film for them because they just lost their video guy. I didn't apply for a job, I just made something, put it out there, and suddenly had a paid freelancing position as a travel filmmaker. That seemed so far out of reach. Even the day before that, I couldn't even dream of it. And around the same time, I also started my YouTube channel about travel filmmaking, and there my GoPro videos performed well, so I created courses, first a GoPro course, then more about general filmmaking, and this grew into a whole platform over the years. I also joined Lost Creator Academy early on and started helping people there in the Facebook group just because I love all the camera stuff. So Christian LeBlanc eventually asked me if I wanted to get paid to review videos and answer questions on Facebook, and that's another opportunity I never imagined was even possible. So So I think you might notice a pattern already in my story. I had to learn a lot of different skills: WordPress, web design, video editing, sales, teaching, technical problem solving. None of these came naturally. I had to actively learn them. And that's actually one of the biggest barriers people face when trying to take action. They want to do something, but they don't know how to learn the skills they need. That's where today's sponsor Skillshare comes in. I actually used Skillshare myself a few years ago when I was building my YouTube channel to learn certain skills. If you don't know Skillshare yet, it's an online learning platform with thousands of classes taught by amazing and world-class content creators, designers, coders, successful entrepreneurs, and other creatives. The platform is designed to help you get started creatively and in business by learning directly from real, super talented and successful teachers. A few classes that could be really valuable if you're watching this video are indie filmmaking, transform your idea into a movie from Olaf de Fleur. This one takes you through the entire process from concept to final cut. Productivity Masterclass by Ali Abdel, Christopher Dodd's freelancing courses, or Full Stack Web Development for Beginners by Chris Dixon. What makes Skillshare great is that when you join, you get access to all their classes with one membership, so you can explore different skills without committing to lots of individual courses. And honestly, if you don't really know what exactly you want to do yet, Skillshare is a great way to start exploring, try a few different classes, see what you actually enjoy and get started. That exploration, in my opinion, is part of the process of taking action. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan this QR code here will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare plus 20% off your first year, so it's completely risk-free. You can get started today. But now back to the story, because this is where things start connecting. Through years of freelancing and running courses, I got deep into WordPress, performance optimization, various page builders, technical problem solving, and after a while I discovered Bricks Builder, as there was quite some hype around it, and I love it until today. It's the best page builder in my opinion, as it's super fast, reduces bloat, and it handles dynamic data extremely well. So when I wanted to move away from Teachable, as it's too expensive, I knew I would build everything with Bricks. But when I started the migration, I ran into a problem. There was no membership plugin that really worked well with Bricks Builder, at least not the way I wanted it to be. So I thought, okay, I would just build a small custom solution just for myself. So I started building it, and very quickly I realized this couldn't just be a solution for me. This was a gap in the entire market. I saw on Facebook and Reddit that other creators were looking for a better solution as well. And suddenly all those seemingly random actions are connected. The discipline I developed from paintball and hating my old job that got me in the right direction, the blog and YouTube channel where I learned WordPress, content creation and how to build things online, the freelancing where I learned what clients actually need, how to deliver solutions, and also the fact that I started to look for business ideas actively because I was talking more and more over the past few years to business people, and of course the travel videos that taught myself how to put myself out there, years of using course platforms that showed me what I like about them and what's missing, and years of WordPress work with Bricks Builder that already let me think it would be a perfect page builder for membership sites. None of this was planned. I never sat down and thought I'm going to build a WordPress plugin, but 10 years of trying things, building skills, helping people, solving problems, it all led to this one moment where I could create something that I never could have imagined at the start. And that solution became Bricks Members, a WordPress membership plugin that I just launched and now hopefully becomes my next business. Now, I need to be honest, even after finding this idea, it still wasn't easy. I'm not a developer. I know HTML and CSS very well, but PHP and JavaScript just a tiny bit. Like, I can't write it from scratch, but I can around see what it does. So AI definitely helped a lot, specifically augment code with Claude 4.5. But AI isn't magic. It will create functionality, but not necessarily in a way that's secure, performant, or well built. So I had to use my brain to tell AI how to do things properly, debug, test, think through architecture, and ask it what my options are for certain implementations. At one point, I even rewrote almost the entire plugin because the way AI structured it wasn't good enough. So it still meant a lot of late nights, lots of why isn't this working moments. But I think it's now easier than ever because AI and many other tools out there allow you to bring your idea into reality without having to spend years learning everything from scratch. It doesn't mean that you just write a few prompts. You should still educate yourself and use your brain to ensure whatever you create is actually good. What takes time, but it's a lot less compared to even just a few years ago. And I think that opens so many more opportunities because a niche plugin like Bricks Members would probably not be worth developing for a team of developers financially, but for an individual it is. Plus, it lets your ideas come to life much quicker, which is also often crucial. So I saw this opportunity, and despite all the setbacks and still working hundreds of hours on it, I kept going. Now I'm launching it right now, so eventually Bricks Members becomes a real product, a real business, and a third income stream alongside YouTube and freelancing for me, which is great for this channel because that allows me to make more fun content. But most importantly, it proved something I didn't fully understand until now, and that is that the idea comes last and not first. So let's come back to you. You're waiting for that perfect business idea, that moment of clarity, but here's the truth. Most people don't know what to do at the beginning. I didn't know paintball would teach me discipline. I didn't know a blog would give me the WordPress skills I would lose later for freelancing. I didn't know 20 proposals a day on Upwork would actually work. I didn't know helping people on Facebook would lead to another income stream, and that using course platforms would lead me to a WordPress plugin idea. So the idea came after from taking action. So here's the real formula. Action doesn't just build skills and leads to predictable outcomes, often actually not. Taking action creates opportunities because when you take action, things happen you can't even imagine and plan for. And people also notice that you're a doer and not just a talker, and successful people want to work with doers. So you also meet the right people, you learn from them, and you grow even more. And those opportunities, they don't just give you clarity, they lead to more action. More action leads to more and better opportunities and better and bigger ideas. It's a cycle, and it only starts when you move. So you don't start with the idea, you earn it by moving, you discover it only after taking countless steps. So stop waiting for the perfect idea, start doing something, anything, build a skill, help someone, create something, put yourself out there, whatever it is, and then the idea will come later, and when it does, it might just change your life. And if you really don't know where to start, give our sponsor Skillshare a try. That might open your eyes for the first time to see all the options you actually have. Because especially if you're still in a job, you might not even know what's actually possible. So I'm out. Check out this video here in the corner. There you learn a bit more about the videography part of my life. Quite interesting to watch actually. So I hope to see you there.